Now that you have a rough overview of the Gutenberg editor, let's go ahead and create our first page. So to do that, we're going to go to Pages, all right? And then you're going to click on Add New Page, and it's going to automatically bring us open to this. It's going to want to show us these patterns, which are really just basically templates. I don't want to use any of these just because I think it'd be better for us to make them from scratch. But if you do want to, like on another page, just click on one and inspect it and see how it was made, feel free to do so. It's not a terrible idea, but I think it'd be better just for us to do ourselves. So we're going to click out of that. First thing we want to do is add a title. So we'll just put welcome. So this will be our welcoming page, basically. That is fine. And then it's going to want us to add our first block here. Okay, so in order to add a new block, we can click on this little plus here. I like to do it over here because I can see all the elements. So since our title is automatically going to be our heading, let's go ahead and actually use something else for our first block here. So we have a bunch of options. I think what would be nice is usually you have that big like image with like text in it. So I think I'm going to use that. So if you'll see, there's a couple options here. We have media with text, which is kind of like a card, as you see there. But they also have cover. So I'm going to go ahead and just use cover. So I'm going to click on cover. And then it's going to ask for me to upload a picture. So you just click upload. And then you would find a picture to upload. So I'm just going to grab this one. I'll hit upload. And voila, there it is. And then we'll just put something here and like, check out my site with an exclamation point because we're really excited. Okay. So it's got a picture and it's got the text in there. Now, if I want to make any adjustments to the text, you can see we can change the alignment. So I could do center, right. We'll just leave it right in the center. I can make it bold, right? You can see some things here. There's also some options here. If I want to have a background color, like maybe I'm having a hard time seeing it. My picture is already kind of grayed out, but you could do that here. You could also change the text color if for some reason, again, it doesn't really work, and to some other options here. So that's all fine. I don't really want to make any changes to it. I think that looks, for the most part, fine. But I would like to make this overall thing a little bit larger. So just so you get the idea, this is not 100% what our preview is going to be, but let's just go ahead and we're going to publish this. And then we'll hit publish again. And then I'm going to middle mouse button click on this so I can see what it looks like. And here you can see, right? So it feels a little small. I'd rather it was kind of like the whole page. So what we're going to do is in order to grab the entire thing here, it might be kind of hard. So I can click on this, but that is the picture. I'm not actually grabbing the entirety of it. So I'm actually going to click on the cover. I'm already on the cover. Never mind. So we're on the cover. So what I want to do now is actually just go ahead and we can close out of that. I want to make this larger. So I'm going to click on, I don't know why it's in a line, but you go to align and then we'll do wide width. There's also full width, which would go all the way across. I'm not going to worry about that. Now, another option, I'm not going to be too worried about it on mine, but I guess you can't really see the picture. So you can click on this and that will make it full width. So you see the full picture. I think that looks fine. Okay, so we'll say that that's good. So the next thing I want to do is just do 4 columns. I think that would be a little bit easier. So I'm just going to kind of click down here to get out of that. I'm at the little plus. And this time, I'm not going to just add content. I'm going to go down here and we're going to use the design here. So I want to create columns, right? So I'm going to do multiple columns across. So we'll just go ahead and click on columns. And let's just start with 2 columns to start with, just for funsies. So click on 2 columns. I'm going to click on this. And let's go ahead and just put a heading. And we'll just say heading, because that's what it is. That looks great. Then what I want to do is I want to add another block underneath that. So I'm going to click in here, a little plus, and I'm just going to do a paragraph, and I'll go, right. Okay, so that looks fine. Actually, each one of these is a new block, so let's just get rid of that. So we're going to get rid of each one of these. I shouldn't have hit delete. It was kind of dumb with me, or I shouldn't have hit enter every time. Delete. Okay. I actually want this to be inside of here. So if you see, this is actually not part of that. So I'm going to grab this, which will drag it, and then I'm just going to put it right underneath the heading. So now I'm just going to space, 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 space. This is where lorem ipsum comes into play. Okay, so now if you can see, this is actually part of that column. So there's a paragraph and there's a heading. Once again, if you want to change any of the options here, you can do so. I want to grab the overall element. So I'm going to click on this to grab the parent element, the parent block, which is the column itself. And what I want to do is let's just go ahead and copy this. So I'm going to click on this I'm going to click copy. So I have it copied. And then we're going to go over here. And then if you look, I don't see any paste. I don't know. There's paste styles. There is add after and add before, but that doesn't actually do anything. So what I've been doing is if you just hit Control V or Command V, it will paste it. So that looks fine. There's only 2 columns. And again, it looks very like not all the way across. So I would like to make this longer. So I'm going to click to go to the parent block, all the columns together. And then I'm going to click the align again. And I'm going to go ahead and do wide width. So it goes all the way across. Now, when it's like this, these columns feel too long, right? So I wanted to have 4 columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click over here. We can do it this way, actually. So if I click on this, we should be able to, let's see. Am I on? Hang on. Select parent, block, columns. Okay, so right here I can add more columns. I thought I was on the 1 column, not all the columns. And I can up it this way. So we could do 4, right? We could also just click on like this one. I'm going to go up to make sure I got the column. So I think we're on column right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this and hit duplicate. And that will just duplicate it to the next one over. I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm going to click on this and then just hit duplicate. Which isn't quite what I was hoping. Oh, because I was on the heading. I got to make sure I'm on the column. Okay, now we're going to head and duplicate. There we go. Okay, so now I have my 4 columns and 4 headings. Yay, that looks acceptable. Let's go ahead and add something else. So we'll go down here. I'm going to again click on the plus. And then I like to just kind of use the design things first and then put my content in afterwards because that way I can kind of organize it a little bit better. Let's go ahead and use a grid, we'll say. So I'll go to the grid and you can see then we can then add our elements here. So I'm just going to click on this and let's just go ahead and add a list, we'll say. And we'll just go blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I want to put this in all of the grid things here. So I'm just going to click on this and, oh, so I'm on a single list item. I got to make sure I click on this to grab the whole list item. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to copy. I'm going to click in. Hang on. Again, grab the whole thing. Now, to add these other ones, it's kind of weird. You don't just click any. You have to hit this little plus. And then we can put that in there. Oh, wait. I was on the wrong thing. Hang on. Okay. We hit plus in this one. So make sure you're all the way to the grid. Then I'll hit the plus. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a list item again. I'm just going to do it manually. Okay. Yay. But I got to go up. And then we got to go up to the grid, and then I hit the plus. It's just a weird thing. So this time we'll just do a paragraph. Okay. And, right, you get the idea. Okay, good. So we've got that. Once again, I'm not like a huge fan. I wish it was a little bit larger. So I'm going to go up, and then we're going to go to the grid itself. And, oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to alignment, and we'll do full width. So it goes all the way across. Now, I might be like, oh, I don't really like this column. So there are some options here, but we can actually convert them. So I can click on this and go, you know what? Instead of a group, why don't we try doing a row? And the row will look like this. All right. And maybe I don't like that. I'm just going to hit Control Z to undo it. Let's see something real quick here. Am I on the grid? Yeah. We could try doing, I have too many elements here. So let's go up. Let's see, minimum column width position. Here we go. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to do manual instead of automatic. That way there's the 3. Okay. So, because there was extra columns over here. So we're going to click on this and then be like, okay, let's try stack. That's just going to stack them after each other. Maybe you don't like that. Let's try columns. It doesn't really do what I was hoping for either. I have to basically put these across and then put them over. It just stacked them all into the same one. But there are different options. I can convert it to a cover, which I don't think that looks very good. So you can convert them afterwards if you find that you don't like the way that it's working. You can change it with something else. All right, that's the basic idea of it. Okay, then from here, I could just go down and we can add more elements. Okay, I don't want to make this super long. What I would like you to do is, hopefully you did somewhat what I did. But rather than just listening to me do it over and over again, just play with it. So just try different ones, add new columns and rows and things, and then try the different blocks here and just try to make something. Use any imagery you want to use, any text you want to use. You're going to learn more just by trying out these different blocks than me just clicking, because there's too many for me to go through anyhow. So just go down, and every time you make something new, just be aware you can select the parent of all of them, and they'll just have different options. So if I want just to grab this column, I would click on that. Then now I'm in the list, I think I am. Yeah, so up here I can see it says list. And if I want this, the whole grid, I can grab that one there, right? So yeah, just be aware that you can move up and adjust it that way. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Once you are done, you're just going to hit save. And then again, we can just go ahead and preview it. So if you click on this, it's going to show you the view page, and then you can see what your page looks like so far. Okay? And that's what I want you to do.